So perhaps the most significant finding out of the special counsel's report today is that special counsel Mueller did not find any evidence of criminal conspiracy between anyone associated with the Trump campaign and Russia. That is, there's no quote-unquote collusion that is prosecutable in any way between the Trump campaign and the Kremlin, and that is the question that had been hovering over this investigation from the start. So that's a big victory for the president. It's a really unequivocal victory. The other interesting finding of note is on the question of whether the president obstructed justice. And here it's a little bit more complicated. In this particular aspect of the investigation, the special counsel did not reach a conclusion one way or the other as to whether the president obstructed justice. Instead, according to Attorney General Barr, who summarized these findings, Mueller presented evidence on both sides of the ledger for these different episodes involving Trump's behavior that were examined, and then did not reach a conclusion one way or the other. However, Barr said that he and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein had reached their own conclusion based on Mueller's evidence and determined that it was insufficient to establish obstruction of justice. So the letter today from the Attorney General, it's a 4-page letter, it marks the conclusion, the real end conclusion of the special counsel's investigation. We expect to hear more details of what the special counsel found in coming days and weeks. The major investigation that concerns the president right now is taking place in New York City. That's an investigation into hush money payments that were made to 2 women, one a former Playboy model, the other a porn star, who both say they had sex with the president about a decade before he was elected. And both received money during the campaign effectively to not come forward with their allegations. Prosecutors in New York City, in the Southern District of New York, are investigating whether that's a campaign finance violation. The president's been implicated in wrongdoing by his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. It's not yet clear what's going to happen with that investigation. I think the main takeaway actually is going to be how unsatisfied Democrats are. This is a 4-page summary of what appears to be a very lengthy, very detailed report from the special counsel. And there is a suggestion in this letter that the special counsel did find evidence in at least some of the episodes he examined of potential obstruction of justice, and simply did not reach a conclusion. So if you're a Democrat on Capitol Hill right now, you want access to all of the special counsel's work, and you want the American public to see all of the evidence he gathered and his underlying report. And so we can expect going forward that is going to be the next big legal front, is this fight between Congress and the Justice Department over how much of Mueller's 2 years of work the public gets to see, especially because on the question of obstruction, it's clear that Mueller did indicate that there's a there. He just didn't reach a conclusion one way or the other. So that's given hope to Democrats that they want to see more. The regulations actually do not stipulate that the report is made public. That's a judgment call. What the regulations actually mandate is that a confidential report is delivered by the special counsel to the Attorney General who oversees his work. So in this case, that would be Mueller to Barr. And then it is possible that a document could be made public, but you have to imagine, and we know this for sure in this case, that this is a document that concerns grand jury information, perhaps classified information. That's a complicated process to scrub that document of any potential issues, executive privilege issues, and that's going to take some time. It is important to take stock of this moment, that this is a pretty significant victory in terms of this collusion, or no collusion finding, I should say, between the president and Russia. And the special counsel, according to Barr, was pretty unequivocal about that. And so the president, we can expect him to rightfully claim victory. And based on what we know from the special counsel's findings, that perhaps seems justified on that front. However, there is a reference that is interesting, and that is multiple offers from people connected to Russia, Russian associates, to individuals associated with the Trump campaign offering help. We suspect that's a reference to the Trump Tower meeting that took place in June 2016 between Donald Trump Jr. and a Kremlin-connected lawyer. He took that meeting with the expectation of receiving dirt on Hillary Clinton that could be used and weaponized during the campaign. We also know that a former Trump campaign aide, George Papadopoulos, had a meeting in London where he learned from a professor that Russia had dirt on Clinton in the form of thousands of stolen emails. So we suspect that Mueller's making reference to that, the fact that there are these multiple overtures of help from people connected to Russia, but there's no evidence or no allegation even that either of those two sides work together, and that's a significant conclusion. As it relates to the question of collusion, we do have a definitive answer from the special counsel and ostensibly endorsed by the Attorney General that there was no collusion. We've heard that from the president for the last 2 years. That is the central finding and takeaway from this 4-page summary, that there was indeed no collusion, no criminal conspiracy between the Trump campaign on one hand and the Kremlin on the other to get Trump elected. It is possible that House Democrats could come up with a different conclusion on the collusion question. It's not clear how readily embraced by the American public that would be, because the special counsel is regarded as the ultimate arbiter of, with subpoena power, evidence of ability to criminally prosecute. So he's regarded as the final voice. So it's not clear whether the American public will accept if Mueller says no collusion and House Democrats say otherwise.